Okay, guys, so today we're going to talk about probably my oldest friend, my oldest piece of gear that I have. Not so much in years or whatever, like when it was made, but the thing I've owned the longest that I still have is this amplifier right here. So, what this is a Victoria amplifier. They're based out of Illinois. I can't remember exactly where out of Illinois, but they're based out of Illinois. And long story short, they have a series of amps that they make. Kind of boutique quality, good amps. I've got nothing but great things to say about them. But what I want to talk about this one is that it's kind of an unknown amp. One, because it was never made for the public, and I was lucky enough to get my hands on it, which is really cool. So, long story short, I was probably 19 years old, still kind of learning, especially with now there's many amps and things. I had no one to teach me what the right amp was, or because there's so many things. I mean, I've had small little combos to at one point I had a 100-watt Mesa Boogie head, which I never was able to use because it was so loud, but it rocked. But this amp, I got this when I was about 19 years old, so 2011 is when I got this, and I have not. I mean, I've used other amps, but this has like been the main one. So here's the story behind it. At that time, I was self-taught for about 5 years, and then I took some lessons from a local guitar shop. And one of the teachers that I spent time with, long story short, he had a connection with Victoria Amplifiers. Well, they were making these in-house because, which I'll show you here in a minute, on top of the plate where the controls are at, it actually says Gretsch Executive, which I'll put a picture up. For a while there, Victoria was making a Gretsch amp. Essentially the Gretsch Executive was made by Victoria, and I guess they discontinued it or whatever. And then what they did is they had parts left over and said, hey, well, let's just build some amplifiers, a handful of them, which I don't know exactly how many of these were made. But let's build a handful of them and sell them to people that we know. So my teacher at the time said, hey, I know you're looking for an amp. I think that you should buy this amp. And now, granted, I had not played this amp before, which is unlike anything I've ever done. I've never bought something not knowing what it was. So he said, this is the amp you want. I'm telling you, this thing is killer, And he knew kind of who I was as a player. I mean, he's still a great friend to this day. But long story short, I say, yeah, let's go and get this thing. And I get it, and I haven't looked back since. So I would say, what makes it unique is it's very much like it's a Fender style amp, It's got reverb, it's got tremolo, it has 3 tins in it, which is kind of unique. So it's like a triangle here. So here's the top one, here's this one on this side, and then on this side there's one. So it's like a triangle. 6L6 tubes, really beautiful cleans out of it. Takes pedals really well. I mean, as a gigging musician, it's been enough to keep up with other people. It's actually bigger than what it sounds, so you can really turn this thing up and let it breathe, and it's not going to take your head off. But it's kept up in other situations when there was some really big amps on stage. It's done really well for me. So I just wanted to make a video about Victoria's biggest secret. But the point is, it's been really been a great amp, and I don't know. I've seen some videos where I've seen this as like a backline, in some places in Illinois. So I don't know how many are actually floating around there. You know, maybe Victoria, if they see this, maybe I got it all wrong. But this is my understanding of the story, so this is what I'm sticking with. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some sounds through it. So I've got some humbucker guitars, I've got some single coils. We're gonna do a couple different sounds, put a little drive, check out that tremolo, that reverb, and yeah, I don't know if I'm ever gonna, I don't think I'm ever gonna get rid of this amp. I'll probably get other amps and whatnot, but it's been reliable, too. That's the thing. I changed out the power tubes in it once, but that's really about it. I mean, it's been really, really good. So I can't say enough good things about this amp in Victoria. So thanks for watching. We're gonna go and we'll put all these sounds through, and we'll see you guys next time.